Hello and welcome to our NPI webinar. Thanks everyone for joining and welcome to the first in a new series of webinars covering Belden's new product introductions. The purpose of today's call is to highlight the latest products from Belden's Automation Solutions and Smart Building Solutions teams. And we want to give our commercial teams an additional chance to absorb this information and ask any questions they may have as they incorporate these new offerings into their customer conversations and solutions. So just a quick note that today's call has products from both Q2, which have been fully launched, and also products from Q3, which will be announced through email internally next week, and then to channel at the end of this month, and then to the public on August 28th. So we're going to start off today with some quick overviews from our product managers on each of these standard and strategic products from both DAT and DOM. And then we will go over to a quick overview of the basic launches for Q2 and Q3. We will then hear from the APAC GPS team, and then also some highlights from both the hardware and software teams for automation solutions. And then finally, we'll have some time for Q&A at the end. And we are also recording, and we'll share the recording after the call, and we will also share the slides after the call. So first up, we have Theo Van Rijn to start off with some fiber updates. Theo, I will hand it over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Holly. The first project that we will launch next quarter is the gel-free central and multi-loose tube fiber optic cables. The features and benefits of it is the ease of implementation, mess-free installs, simpler handling and splicing and termination, and no cleanup required, and enhanced durability, so dry blocking materials to prevent water ingress, ensuring a more stable cable structure and no complications from gel leakage over time. The customer problems that we solve is the no gel is a faster installation, easier cleanup, zero risk of contamination for fiber and splicing equipment. And what differentiates us from other suppliers, at least in the EMEA region, it's a limited amount of suppliers that do gel-free loose tube cables. And we have the offering in both center loose tube and multi-loose tube cables. If you look to where does this fit, our key verticals are data centers and enterprise networks, but you will see these loose tube cables in all applications that we serve. It's an indispensable link in the backbone of a network. The sales call to action and make customers aware of the advantages of gel-free loose tube compared to gel-filled loose tube, and specify gel-free where possible, as it limits the number of competitors that we have in the projects. The products are already available for ordering, already in the system since May this year. And as mentioned, our focus is the EMEA region, but of course, these products can be sold in any region over the world. That's it.
All right, thank you, Theo. Next, we will move to Dheeraj.
Thank you, Holly. Hello, everyone. I'm Dheeraj Gaikwad. I'm the product manager for fiber connectivity and fiber management. Thank you for joining this webinar. Today, I'll introduce the new XHD patch panel family, which is launching globally. XHD stands for Extreme High Density. It's purpose-built for high-density fiber applications across broadcast, data centers, and also other data center as function verticals like healthcare, hospitality, higher education, and so on. As networks race from 40 GB to 400 GB and beyond, two pain points keep coming up: space and speed. Customers need to pack more fibers per rack unit without sacrificing on the manageability and the accessibility. they need to migrate quickly from the legacy base 12 infrastructure to the newer base 8 or base 16 or even base 24 formats. This is sometimes even done under live network constraints. The XHD patch panel family squarely addresses those challenges and drives down the installation labor and the installation time. You can think of XHD as a solution that's available in two formats. The first one, field assembly. A panel can be supplied empty, and then it can be populated on site with either the splice kit or the MPO to LC fanouts. The second format would be a preloaded one in which the same chassis is factory installed with the base 12 or the base 8 MPO to LC fanouts. So the crews can spend time patching, not terminating. Every chassis also has a gliding, tilting 1U drawer that gives the technicians full access for either the inspection, installation, or the MAC work. Each XHD panel is available in either 1 rack units, 2 rack units, or 4 rack unit variants. The trays are retrofittable into our existing UHD patch panel family, as well as the DCX patch panel family. So if any of your customers are currently using those platforms, they can simply swap out the trays and populate them with the XHD trays, thus driving down the total cost of ownership of a Belden patch panel over the life of this product. This also enables a rapid deployment because Belden also supplies MPO trunks and patch cords that can be used along with this product to get the networks up and running. Beyond density, XHD is engineered for sustainability and performance. This panel uses significantly less plastic as compared to the traditional cassette-based designs, thanks to the MPO to LC fanouts that we provide. There are also additional VSFF channels, 4 channels for VSFF or 8 fibers, driving the total density from 144 fibers per rack unit to 152. So for your next specification review, look for any requirements that call out for 144 fibers per rack unit or phrases like ultra-high density patching. This is where XHD can be positioned, and it's the fastest path to revenue because of the minimum number of part numbers that are needed to put together this system. To wrap up, XHD helps customer future-proof from 40G to 400G networks and saving space and time along the way. Thank you.
Thank you, Dheeraj. We will move next to Jim Valentine.
Okay, thank you, Holly. Good morning. Everyone hear me okay? I think that's a yes.
Yeah.
My name is Jim Valentine, product manager for copper category cable. I will have 2 slides this morning. First up, we will talk about our 10GXM13. This is our recently launched category 6A plenum reduced diameter 6A cable. Hopefully this is not news, as this was launched last quarter. This is a big deal for us. It's likely our most significant smart buildings launch in some time, and we really do think this will be a game changer for our portfolio. Regarding availability, this is a global launch, although most of the usage will be in the US and Canada, given the plenum rating of the cable. In terms of use case, it has an extremely broad base in terms of verticals, really anywhere category 6A is needed, in particular where size is an issue. In terms of the features and benefits, the biggie is, of course, the reduced diameter, 0.230, as compared to traditional competitive 6A cables, which are in the 250 to, say, 280 range. This utilizes Equiblock technology, which enables small diameter and helps mitigate alien crosstalk. So the Equiblock, if you look at the image in the top left, that is the white barrier tape that protrudes from the blue jacket. We're not going to call that a floating shield. That's our EquiBlock technology. This provides an enhanced channel performance, full TIA compliance with additional margin above and beyond the TIA standard. Also supports PoE, and it has a 0.7 amp LP rating, limited power rating, simplifying cable needs. In terms of customer problem solved, again, it's about space and cost savings, unlocks new installation opportunities while reducing conduit expenditures and potentially fitting more cables in a given conduit size. Ease of deployment and termination. One of the big features of this cable is the elimination of a filler or a spline. Most Category 6A cables on the market today have a filler. This does not. That was quite a challenge for the engineering team to come up with a fillerless 6A. So that helps with the size, and of course it helps with the deployment. One less thing to deal with as you're terminating the cable. And of course that's less waste. So no filler to cut, less waste. So what differentiates us? Excellent system performance with guaranteed warranted headroom. Of course, we have control over our own manufacturing, as this is made in our own Nogales plant with the robust quality system that is in place with frequent testing. And of course fits in with our full suite of other infrastructure products available. In terms of solution fit, again, there's the name of the cable, 10GXM13. One of the questions may be, hey, are we planning to get rid of the 10GXW13? The answer is no, not proactively. We do expect some level of cannibalization there, but we also expect some incremental sales that we wouldn't have otherwise gotten without this product. In terms of sales call to action, I would say it's fairly simple. Customers really just need to know that this cable is available from Belden. The 230, that's an eye catcher. Granted, we do have a lot of cables in our portfolio. Here comes another one, but this is a big deal, and we need to get the word out there, and this really should be at the top of your pitch list for Category 6A. Okay, so that's the deal on the 6A 10GXM13. Okay, next up, we will talk about our remote IP outdoor cables. These have been a hot topic. Again, very excited about what we're doing here. So we have two cables in scope with regard to the content here. They're both slated for a Q3 launch. Both are additions to our existing remote IP line, or also known as extended distance. So the first one is outside plant. It's a 22 gauge dry, no gel, double jacketed cable. So that's the one that you see in the image in the top left. And the second one is a dual rated CMR CMX indoor outdoor, has a slightly simpler construction, also 22 gauge, but single jacketed. And as I mentioned, these two products complement our existing remote IP line, which currently contains indoor plenum and riser. These two products have been released for a few years. In terms of general launch info, there is a little typo there. This is a basic, not standard. Global availability. We are looking for available for order date later this month. Key verticals and applications, security, surveillance, education, campus, where you have outdoor needs, particularly in areas where power is not easily accessible, CRE and healthcare. In terms of features and benefits, the headliner here, of course, is the extended distance. So it supplies data and power to remote IP devices up to 215 meters away. It is a very much a cost-effective solution, reducing the need for additional or expensive telecommunications rooms, hybrid fiber cables for extended distance or network extenders. It has easy deployment. It's really no different than installing and terminating existing category cables. In terms of customer problem solved, this product helps to sort of simplify, clean up the project bill of material with avoiding those things we just talked about, media converters or extenders. Of course, it saves the customer project monies by giving us a very simple, effective solution. It also supports long distance PoE to devices where power is not available. Probably one of the best examples would be emergency call boxes on college campuses where you've got maybe no power out there in a remote area. That would be the perfect application for this product. In terms of what differentiates us, it's very similar to what we talked about with the prior slide. Ease of installation, again, manufactured in our own internal facility, so we control quality, we control lead time. In terms of solution fit, and what I did here is just listed the names of the two cables, RIP DOU and RIP RXU. That's a little bit of a mouthful, but just a little background on the nomenclature. So we did standardize on the item nomenclature. So RIP, remote IP. For the first one, DO, dry outdoor, U for unshielded. And then the second one, remote IP, RX, so that's riser, CMX, unshielded. And of course, as I mentioned, it is compatible with our RevConnect connectivity. So sales call to action, again, product awareness. I think it's common knowledge that Page with their Game Changer has dominated this space. That came out several years ago. Other competitors have jumped in the game and have made some inroads there against Page. So we are a little late to the party, granted, but we do think we have some opportunities here, given our strengths and our overall portfolio. Okay, so that's a wrap on my products.
All right, thank you, Jim. Next, we will welcome Archam.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to my part of the session. Today, I would like to talk to you about our new M12 Power high performance solution. So it's called a redesign, but it's much more than just a redesign. We are defining more or less a completely new way of how we are going to the market, how we are seeing the customers, and also the demand of helping the customers, right? So within that launch, what we would like to give a message is a completely gapless portfolio that supports the hottest trends on the market within power supply of industrial applications. So means everything goes more decentralized and focuses right now also on the bigger power ranges. So means much more power is needed on the market or within the applications. And here comes the M12 Power in place. So what specifically in Americas, 7/8 inch being used for the last 50 years, and now the change has been started. And that means that we have now with this launch a big opportunity, especially starting this year and of course next year. We're expecting the rocket science in terms of demand and customer requests. So looking into the features and benefits, so we we've been the first ones who have developed this kind of technology back in 2015, and now we are again back to the into the space of the more or less the first number one on the market within high demand applications. So that means also that we covering our promising, that means IEC conformity. So we within the portfolio, we can ensure the customers that they get the quality they're paying for. So it's a completely different way how our competition is handling it, not providing it aligned with the standards and IEC. So this is of course a benefit for us to go to the market. In terms of customer problem solved, so means here with the first part, risk of missing of output as planned. So means if the production or any I/O block or a switch with M12, if they do not get enough power during a period of meters of wider lengths, so that means with our connectors we are going to support more or less everything that the customer will need up to 24 amps. So our competition is able to do it a maximum up to 16 amps right now. So this is a significant big advantage for us. And of course, this is a global trend where the customers also are looking into investing into new applications and new technologies that are in the most cases already suited with M12 power. And one big thing, really a big thing, specifically also in Americas, is coming up with TCR rated cables, and we have already the cord sets available with those, and starting to investigate more into that topic. What does it mean? TCR rated cables. So they are more focusing on safe applications and also effective installation. So due to that, exports run approval. Tray rated cables, tray rated more or less also TCR, you can call it that way. Eliminate need for additional protective raceways, for example, or trays or conduits, or complex installation efforts that all of the contractors, etc., have today, and to keep the UL approval running, etc. So with that cables, customers saving a lot of money and a lot of efforts. So what to say about our difference? Our difference is definitely the quality and the performance guarantee to the customers. From solution fit, all the M12 products are supported on the market. More or less everything that is power supplied with M12, L code, T code, K code, S code. Everything is supported, and we do have a really gapless solution. And of course, call out to action sales. We do have a really big range of supportive documents to integrate all the 2000 products in very and easy way for the partners. We have prepared a lot of data, gapless data with commercial and technical attributes, and would be able to suit them for the customer need itself. So how the customer is going to integrate it into their web shops, etc. So please feel free to deep dive with me. If you have any question or need any further support, please contact me. Looking forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Artem. Next, we will move into the data orchestration and management, or DOM section. And we will start first with Andre to review the Greyhound 2000.
Thank you, Ollie. So I get the pleasure of talking about the Greyhound 2000. It's the newest addition to our Greyhound industrial rack mount switch portfolio. The initial release was actually launched back in April, and throughout the coming months, we'll continue to have additional kind of next step releases. So regarding the key verticals and where we see the best fit for this product, we're looking at energy, specifically PT&D and substation automation systems, mass transit, and then some use cases for discrete and process. Jumping over to the features and benefits and the overall highlights of the product itself, we're looking at really a best-in-class in terms of an industrial rack mount Ethernet switch when it comes to port density. So this switch has up to 34 ports of density. In addition, it'll have high bandwidth capability uplinks with 2.5 gigabit Ethernet and also eventually 10 gig Ethernet. True to its name, it is an industrial rated switch, so it has a wide operating temperature from -40 to +70 C. And then redundant power supplies with both high voltage and low voltage options. Additionally, it'll have the full suite of HiOS features from L2S all the way up to L3A, including unicast and multicast routing. And then really a big highlight for this switch is the hardware that's supporting HSR and PRP on all ports. This is important, especially for Ethernet-based networking that requires high resiliency. And then lastly, certifications. So like many other Hirschman industrial Ethernet switches, this switch, the GRS2000, will carry all of the relevant industrial certifications, including some of the more robust ones like IEC 62443-4-2 SL2 security certification. Looking at the customer problems that we're solving with this product is really having a industrial and robustly designed switch. So customers no longer have to worry about the reliability or ability for the product to function in harsh industrial operating conditions. As just mentioned, it has a wide range of certifications and also supports the HiOS feature suite. So it's very secure and it's compliant to very many applications. Regarding limited resources and budget constraints, due to its very high fiber port density, we found that actually we can replace, in some cases, 2 rack mount switches with just one GRS2000. And we still continue to support and have the easy-to-use HiOS user interface, meaning you don't have to be highly skilled or highly trained in Ethernet networking to use and configure the switch. And then lastly, as we see energy demands go up, as we see connectivity demands go up in certain markets, like energy within substations and mass transit backbones, we have really kind of gone above and beyond in terms of port density with this product. So what differentiates us from our competition is really the Hirschman kind of recognized configurability. There's a lot of port options. There's a lot of features that you can choose and kind of pick to design how you want to use the product. And then with those features, the price of performance is really best in class. So what we're getting for this product and what the customer ends up paying is really best in class. And then lastly, it's very secure. So again, security, especially within industrial automation, is very important. So the product is featuring all of the HiOS benefits from a security perspective, in addition to the various certifications it has. Regarding solution fit, so really this product fits in nicely within those markets and applications where we need high levels of redundancy and resilient networking, so substation automation, connected trackside networks, and control systems. And this is in part to its ability to have this HSR and PRP functionality built in on the device itself without a need for an FPGA, reducing costs and also improving the functionality of the product itself. And then the integration with the overall portfolio. So like many other Hirschman industrial Ethernet switches, it really kind of combines all the best parts of our Belden portfolio to offer our customers a one-stop shop for a industrial network. Regarding a call to action, one of the most important call to actions for all of you as salespeople really is to have conversations and review customer plans regarding the migration from a classics-based Mach 1000 series platform and seeing what the next steps are for them, as this is the most logical step for those customers. Obviously, highlighting the scalability and flexibility of the product and the wide amounts of features that it has, and then focusing on the relevant verticals. So again, this product will be mainly relevant within energy, PT&D, mass transit, discrete, and process. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andre. Next, we will move over to Philip.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. This is Philip, the product manager for CloudRail. And I would like to present our launch of CloudRail OS, which is basically bringing all the CloudRail functionality independent of hardware devices. So some of you might know the CloudRail Box Max and our CloudRail offering that is connecting IO-Link sensors, OPC-UA, and Modbus very easily to cloud services like AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud. And we took the skill set of the team, we took the ease of use and the functionality and brought it to a Docker container, which means that this Docker container at the moment can be deployed on the OpEdge 8D with the ARM version coming out in Q3, also to the OpEdge 40, and we're looking to expand it to the net module set of devices, maybe industrial switches, and also in the future to IO-Link masters. So we're moving away from hardware dependency to a flexible deployment of CloudRail on a various set of Belden devices. As the team is highly skilled in the connectivity of machines to AWS, to Microsoft Azure, to Google Cloud, we solve the customer problems that no matter what they want to do with industrial data, they need it somehow. No matter if they want to do OEE or smart manufacturing, predictive maintenance, energy monitoring, when they don't have the data from their industrial machines, they cannot implement these digital use cases. So CloudRail OS is a user-friendly service that you can install on various devices and guides you through a step-by-step approach where a user can just add these devices to the cloud within some minutes. Happy to walk you through a demo in Belden Academy, so have a look there. There's a demo video. What differentiates us to other services in the market, like Kepware, like Avon, is first of all, as I mentioned, we're simple and fast. We connect the machine in hours instead of weeks, and we've proven that with a lot of customers. We have a complete offering, and that's very strong in the market, that we're not only giving a digital solution, but we're offering the full Belden portfolio to the customer. So starting from the cable, IO-Link master, gateway, industrial switch, firewall, we're able to cover the full part between the machine and the cloud. And that is very strong for industrial customers that look for digitalization approaches. In addition to that, what I see and what I propose a lot of times in meetings with AWS, with IT system integrators, is that we also have a Belden channel partner network that is able to provide local support, but also local installations, which is also very strong as the IT companies we work with. They don't want to touch the machines. They don't want to lay a network backbone. They just want to have the data connected. And that's what Belden delivers here with a complete solution, including, as I said, cables, IO-Link masters, different gateway or switch devices, and then digital services from CloudRail, from Belden Horizon Data Operations, and others coming on top. What is also a great solution fit, we automatically detect Linux IO-Link masters. We automatically detect all the sensors connected to them. So as I see it, we bring a great additional value proposition to the Linux offering as we make them seamlessly connectable to digital services. So from a sales call to action, please target organizations that work on digitization, on OT data acquisition. You realize this when they state projects like predictive maintenance, like dashboarding, smart metering, sustainability. Wherever data is needed for digital services, we can provide it. Then it would be great to introduce CloudRail to Linux users, as they already have the infrastructure in place. We can just hook up and then connect within 30 minutes the Linux masters to the cloud. And then in addition, as I mentioned, I think with CloudRail, Belden has the opportunity to position itself as a full one-stop shop between the factory and cloud services or on-premise servers, including data acquisition, data normalization, and the full hardware portfolio behind it. That was my part. Question at the end, as always said. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Philip. All right, next we will welcome Marcus.
Yeah, thank you, Holly. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Marcus, and I'm the product manager of the new Belden next generation firewall software. I work together with Jeremy. Jeremy is mainly responsible for the hardware part, and my part is more the next generation software. So today I introduce you to the first member of the new Belden next generation firewall portfolio, and it's called the Belden Industrial Firewall IAF240. This complete new portfolio is based on the software and also the IP from the acquisition of the company Voleatech, which was in the fourth quarter last year. So what can you expect? Features and benefits. We are offering not only a traffic inspection with stateful packet inspection, which is the usual second generation firewall stuff. We also add some deep packet inspection, and that's something quite interesting. The deep packet inspection we are using here with the next generation firewall is based on the Tofino Enforcer. So the big plus here is that we're not offering just an educated guess of the packets, and if there are some threats within the packets, we know exactly what should be and what should be not inside the packets, and that's a big difference to the competitors. We are also adding more than only a firewalling and deep packet inspection. So when you take a look on the next generation firewall, a usual firewall just takes care of the layer 2 and layer 3 based security. The next generation firewall is also taking care of all the other layers up to layer 7, which means we are offering here also IDS and IPS, which means intrusion detection system and intrusion prevention system. This means the IDS is an so-called passive monitoring system, and it analyzes the network traffic and takes care if there are some suspicious activities. And if it detects something like that, it raises an alarm to this to the supervisors of the network, and then you have to take care if this is a real threat or not. And together with the IPS, the intrusion prevention system, which is an active part of the network traffic monitoring, and the IPS can also start some actions on the firewall side. For example, if they detect some threats, they can shut down the complete traffic of this firewall to start a so-called a firewall to stop an infection within your network. And this is a big plus. We are also offering application control, so you can not only take care of some rules like ILO from this MAC address or IP address and traffic to the other MAC address. You can also say, I don't allow, for example, an SAP application here in the network or something like YouTube videos. So you can decide whether you will allow this application within your network or not. Another special part of the next generation firewalling is the identity awareness. This means you have to identify yourself on the firewall, and then you get your special firewall rules and policies, which depends on your group or your credentials as an individuum, and then you can take care. So, for example, when I start to identify myself on the firewall, I get more information regarding the network than another colleague, for example. So identity awareness is a very important part of that. Next one is uptime maximization. So we are offering also high availability on this next generation firewall. This means you can have one master an active part of the firewall, and as much as you want to not active parts. So you can synchronize your state and your configuration of the overall firewalls to those passive parts of the high availability. SRA, so secure remote access, is a big thing also in the machineries and the plants. So we are offering here all main VPN technologies in one firewall. So not only IPsec, also OpenVPN, WireGuard, and the clientless web VPN, which covers all parts of the VPN technologies. Firewall management will also be part of the overall portfolio. So we are offering a portal, a cloud-based portal, where you can manage all your firewall devices, all your next generation firewall devices. You can doing upgrades of the firewalls, shut down the firewalls, doing synchronization of the configurations to groups and of your firewalls. And you can also doing a remote backup of every single firewall there. The problems we are solving here, the most important thing is uptime. So in OT networks, you have always to deal with uptime. Whenever you have a threat attack and you're facing a downtime, so this costs you money and reputation. So we are solving this problem with a multi-layered cybersecurity strategy here, or defense in depth. So it's not only one part, the firewalling, it's also IDS, IPS, deep packet inspection, and much more on this part. Also, we are facing more and more compliance things, especially here in the EU, something like Cyber Resilience Act, IEC 62443. And this means that you have to take care of the cybersecurity in almost every company. And this is something we will support very deep with the next generation firewalls. What differentiates us? We are offering here with the IAF 240 firewall, also a firewall for harsh environments, for explosive environments, and this is a very important thing. For example, if you take care of oil and gas, something like that, it's very important to offer also HASLOC approvals. The DPI, I covered that before. Full protocol DPI is very important, and this is also something that the competition is not doing so well like we do. VPN options, I covered that, and we are also offering edge computing with a Docker runtime, so you can run almost every kind of application within the Docker runtime, like IoT, something like that, to collect data from machines and plants, doing edge computing and send it then to a database or something like that. Where does this fit in our overall solutions? For example, every kind of industrial network infrastructure must be secured, and this is ideal for our next generation firewall, layer 2, layer 3, cell-based firewalling. This is something where we fit perfectly. We are also working very closely together with the MACMON network access control. This is also something we will show on the next fairs that we're showing a combination of the MACMON NAC and also the next generation firewalls. They're working closely together. So the NAC, when they detect something which is a threat or something like that, it can also doing something via the API, the REST API, and let's cover that by the next generation firewall if we change then some rules or policies automatically. For the sales call to action, every customer which has not purchased a firewall from Belden for several reasons, now it's time to go to every customer and selling this. So we have a very good attraction, even if we're not yet officially launched. We are talking with some very good customers, and we gained a lot of attraction there. And also for every kind of firewall, Belden firewall, which is going end of life, like Eagle 1, Eagle 20 or 30, this is the ideal successor for these customers. So that's from my side. Thanks, and have a great weekend.
Thank you very much, Marcus. Next, we will welcome Sina.
Yes, thank you for having me here today. We have a new release for the ProVoice suite, but before we jump into the latest feature, let's quickly reiterate what the ProVoice suite is. So the ProVoice suite is a software which comprises of two components. The first component is ProVoice Planner. Our customers can plan their networks with the ProVoice Planner. You can imagine it as a very advanced specified type of Visio, and therefore it's very easy to use, and it also simplifies the life of network planning for our customers. The second component is ProVoice Explorer. This is the commissioning software, and you can seamlessly switch between the planning and the exploration part, and that is combined in our ProVoice suite. The latest release is 1.11, and here we have new features. One of the updates is that in Planner, it's now possible to plan with the new GRS 2000. We have learned earlier what the GRS 2000 is, and to simplify your lives by making the best suggestions to our customers, it's also simplifying the lives of our customers and when they are planning their networks, because they can directly check if the configurations they want to do with the GRS 2000 are actually working, and they get immediate feedback and the CLI code out of it. We also listened and heard that not every customer is using the long code that we have on our website. Many are also using the short code. By entering the short code, that's now also possible, and I would call it a minor improvement, but it's also simplifying the life within planning. In Explorer, we have added a new multi-config option. The customers can now do multi-config for firmware updates. That is saving a lot of time, and I think this is also the main argument to use it, because if you have to update multiple devices, you can imagine that it's much easier if you can do it all at once. And that is now also possible in ProVoice Explorer. Other than that, there were more minor improvements which improved the usability. One improvement was regarding the opening of the web interface, and another one, as I just explained, for ProVoice Planner, that shortcode is now also available. And what it all feeds, you can test it yourself. On our Belden website, you can download the new version 1.11. So try it out yourself. And my call to action is sell ProVoice to our customers, test it yourself. And we are also very happy to learn about the feedback customers have to make our products even greater in the future. And with that, I would close the session. And if you have any further questions about ProVoice, feel free to reach out to me at any time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sina. All right. Next, we will move into some brief overviews of our basic tier launches. These are generally considered to be minor updates or line extensions, and in the interest of time, I'll just walk through the highlights myself, but please take a note of the product manager who is listed for each one in case you have any follow-up questions. And we will start with the Q2 products, which have already been fully launched. So in Q2, we announced an expansion of our RS-485 cables managed by Yorick Kerosy. We also announced the Hirschmann RPSS power supplies managed by Santosh. And then the latest version of the Hirschmann HiSec OS firewall software for the Eagle 4003 managed by Jeremy Friedmar. And all of these basic launches are available in all global regions. Also in Q2, we announced an extension of our fire alarm cables managed by Todd Hurt. This one is available in the Americas. And then we announced two products in the ProSoft family. First, a ControlNet fiber repeater and a CAN bus router. Both of those are managed by Dennis Gonzalez, and both are available in all global regions. And then moving on to the Q3 basic announcements, which will be announced internally next week, followed by the channel announcement a week later, and then the public launch on August 28th. We will have 3 basic launches for Q3. The first of those is a series of Bobcat switches newly certified to comply with IEC 62443-4-2 security requirements. And this is managed by Niels Bucher. And then the Belden Classics Essential Light cable family, managed by Yorick Karasi. And then finally, the ANX3PB gateway, led by Dennis Gonzalez. And that gateway is launching in the Americas only, and the other 2 products are available in all global regions. As with everything else, please add any questions into the Q&A section, and we'll get to what we can at the end of the call. Moving next to the APAC GPS team, we will welcome Zongkun Tian to share some highlights from the region.
Hello, everyone. I'm Zongkun from APAC GPS Product Management Team. I will present Belden APAC DAP and SBS, the Q2 launched product, as well as the Q3 coming launched product. The first one is a fire-resistant power cable family, which might meet the Australia standard WS52W. This is extreme high temperature with around 1025 degree, and the fire within the 120 minutes is almost close to the copper melting the point, and it also resistance to the fire with the water spray after the fire, and also meet the midi leveled impact and cutting protection performance before the fire, and it's very harsh and robust cable in the fire hazard application. These products are dedicated for the Australian market, which are used for the big infrastructure, the railway tunnels, and airport application as central. It definitely showed the Belden unique capability for fire-resistant cable portfolio, and we have foreseen the over 10 million USD opportunities in coming soon. The product manager is the Freshen, is the industrial cable product manager. The next one is 48 channel, the long frame big gauge audio patch panels, which was designed for the audio system, especially for digital AES and the EBU, the signal transmission. It is mainly for the professional AV applications. Although it is a quite niche market, but it's still very high valuable for Belden to promote the whole AV, the solutions in professional AV market. The product owner is Yolanda Wang, it's a smart building, the senior product specialist. The last one is B1, the rating, the Cat 6 and unshielded and the patch cord, the following by Chinese, the GB standard. The B1 is similar as the European, the CPR, the B2 rating, but with additional toxicity, the performance. It is required to use in bigger size and high-risk buildings in China, especially for crowded, intensive place, like the big railway station, airport terminals, and the financial security buildings, etc. In addition to this, we almost provide full portfolio of B1, the rating. The product family include the category cables and the copper patch cord and the control and power cables and the fiber cables. Belden can provide end-to-end cabling solution on B1 rating the product. It definitely brings a lot of advantage for Belden position in China market. The product owner is Herbert Wang as the smart building the product manager. Next page. The first one is new innovative field attachable the current termination decoded connectors, which are used in industrial automation and railway applications. The connector is developed by our own the Suzhou R&D team. Compared to the old one, the features of the product have been optimized and making it much more user friendly for installation, while also making the price much more competitive. It will be launched very soon. The product owner is Xia Yuan, industrial connectivity, the product line manager. The next one is APAC version, the high-density fiber patching base 8 solution for 40G to 400G technology, which are used for smart building and data center applications. This is complementary for our previous launched the ACX base 12 solution. Now we have complete ACX 1U96 and 4U the 384 fiber high-density patching solution, include splicing and preterm cassette and adaptive frame variant options, which are more the economic version and making the price more competitive. The product launch and the webinar training will be start very soon. The product owner is Herbert Wang, the smart building the product line manager. If you want to know more about details on this product, please feel free to contact APAC, the product management team. That's all from my side. Let's hand over to the next presenter. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sung-Kun. Okay, so next we've invited our product leaders from GPS to share any highlights outside of these specific launches. So we didn't have, due to scheduling, we didn't have Smart Buildings available to join in this instance, but we will hear from David Helmons to represent some updates from the AS software team.
Hello, everyone around the globe. And yeah, I'm happy to be here today to talk a little bit about updates from the software side in Automation Solutions. We're talking today about the Belden Horizon Alpha launch, or the availability of the Alpha scope. So when we're looking at Belden Horizon, there are 4 core areas that we are usually talking about. This is what you see in the upper left corner. The network orchestration. Network orchestration is bundling all the features that you know from tools like Haivision, TX Care, certain features from Connectivity Suite. This is really looking into all the active components that we are deploying in our customers' networks, making sure that all these components are correctly configured and working as there should be. This is what we are tying closely together with what you see on the upper right-hand corner, the Network Insights. Network Insights is then really kind of like one level deeper, looking into the network, looking into what's happening there, and is this actually matching our expectation, what should happen there, based on the network orchestration configuration, and can then feedback this information back to network orchestration and can help, for example, improving certain configurations to improve the stability and uptime of our customers' networks. On the second part, the lower part of the slide, you see the Edge and OT management and the OT data ops and insights. The Edge and OT management is about, for example, we are talking about the devices like the Op Edge. And on these devices, we can deploy certain payloads. So you have seen what Philip Weber was talking about earlier about CloudRail. So how do we get the applications to these devices that they can run in the field where they are needed? This is what the Edge and OT management is about. And this works closely together, for example, with the network orchestration, because if we're deploying certain applications in a field device, we need to make sure that also the right connectivity is there, that this device can talk to the sensors where we want to acquire the data from, and also make sure that we can really update and administer this application running there. And that directly kind of like connects me then to the lower right-hand corner, the OT data ops and insights. So we are deploying this application there, such as CloudRail or BHDO, to support our customers in analyzing the data from their applications. So when you look at the upper hand, we are really looking into our devices that are in the network, and we're looking at the customer network itself and make sure that this is running. The OT data ops and insights is about supporting the customer in optimizing their operations, so their factory, their manufacturing line, or whatever it is that is running there. We are providing access to the data that's being acquired down there to help them, for example, finding an issue with an engine, looking into vibration data, and then providing this information for systems that are on a higher layer, really understand the application in depth, and then be able to create unique value for the customer. So this is how these 4 core areas play together. So what we have achieved so far is we are working on it for quite some time. It's a huge effort. A lot of teams across the globe are right now pushing forward to make it work. And it also took us some time to set up the right structures to make sure that everyone can work together. But right now, we're proud to talk about the availability of Belden Ryzen Alpha. Alpha is an internal version that we are right now not yet exposing to customers. This will take us 1-2 more steps, but we are already in the process of looking into first customers that we can deploy it to. It has now been initially deployed, for example, to the Richmond plant. And also there, we are very carefully listening to the feedback from the OT users in our company to get the first refinement feedback that we are now incorporating. But we also get promising feedback to the overall idea that we're driving. And what you see here on the left-hand side is a screenshot from one version that we are using right now. And with that, I'm giving you on the next slide an overview over what we are planning and where we are right now. So I talked about the alpha software being ready. So this is was planned for the first half of 2025. We did the deployment enrichment. We worked on a customer handbook and also the user quick start guide is available. And now towards the second half of 2025, we are working on implementation of this first feedback, incorporating additional features. And we are also working strongly on a commercialization plan and want to deploy the alpha version and the improved alpha version then to first customers. For the first half of 2026, we want to have the platform in a launch-ready state and want to have additional features and values in there that, for example, we are not that strongly covering with our current tool base. So we are looking, for example, for better support on the wireless side, as we are also having strong customers here, such as Symbotic or Exotech. And we also want to have internal tooling for commercialization. And yeah, that is the quick update that I wanted to give you from the software side. And if there are any questions, feel free to use the question and answer section, and I'm going to be happy to answer them. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, David.